Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, I was looking online the other day, came across somebody had shared this on another Facebook page, and it's called the bike eRack. It looked pretty interesting, but there was some concerns I had, and still kind of have, and I don't know. The company told me I can't really compare this to a hitch carrier that cost $140. But okay, we're gonna go through the video. Unfortunately, I can't have the sound on. It's just music, so copyright. But we're gonna play this video. So he goes up. I'm guessing it's remote control by what's in his hand, right? So he grabs a strap for back of a Suzuki DRZ 400S. And it makes sense because so the tail doesn't hit the ground. And this is how it's lifting it. It's lifting it by for an e-bike, for a mountain bike, for even a Saran. This probably is okay. But you got this heavy motorcycle dangling off forks. I'm going to pause it there. Dangling off the forks, right? It seems like they're kind of flexing in this video. It's hard to tell though, so don't know for sure. But it looks like they're flexing. Now, I'm assuming it's the owner that was responding to my Meeker Extreme Facebook page. And you can see there were comments there. I thought it was really weird that they right away were commenting and definitely they were monitoring their stuff being shared. And, it would seem like he said his piece and that would be it, but he kind of has responded to a few people, including myself, saying, well, how about the flex here? And he's like, oh, there's no concern. And another guy, no, what have I actually ridden with? Yeah, I think he's an engineer of some sort and works for like Lockheed Martin or something. And he's like, well, have you guys tested to make sure this is okay? And they're like, oh, there's no test. It's fine. The bikes are fine. But if you're putting weight on these fork tubes, those fork tubes are not as strong as you think they are. And they're holding this bike up, which is going to be, up and down. And the bike is going to be traveling down the road and have some bouncing to it. I don't know. That just doesn't seem good to me. I'm not worried about the bearings. I'm not even worried about the head bearings. But these forks bending and flexing downwards. I don't know about that. So I want to keep playing. So here it goes. And it looks like you tie something around the rear tire like a strap, probably just so it doesn't sway back and forth. It stays put. Now, they said that you could load two dirt bikes. Now, the issue I have with that is most people's hitch tongue weight can't even support one dirt bike, or in this case, dual sport bike, let alone two dual sport bikes or dirt bikes. Because let's say my dirt bike is 250 pounds. It's actually a little heavier than that with all the farkles on it, but let's say 250. Two bikes is 500 pounds. I think he said this was like 90 something, so we'll just say 100. That's getting up there in weight. 550 pounds on your hitch. I don't know. You tell me. Is this vehicle capable of that weight? Maybe it is. Maybe it is rated for 750 pounds. I don't know. But that's a lot of weight bouncing back here. That's a lot of weight for this bike to be on the forks. Mostly, I mean, that strap isn't going to be holding the weight. And if it is, then heaven forbid your spokes, right? Okay, we're going to continue. This is basically the video, though, and then it just, goes back. So we're going to take a look at their price. This is a screenshot. This is their prices. So one bike is $2,400, $2,850 for this guy. So yeah, it's hydraulic. I don't know. Do you really need this for even e-bikes? One of the arguments was that he had on his side was, well, if you have problems loading the bikes, you're older. Okay, maybe I can see that then. It still seems awfully a lot of money for what it is. And I don't like personally, this is just a personal thing. I laugh when I see vehicles going around with the rooftop racks and the back racks. No bikes in them. They just drive normally like that because they don't want to take them on and off. Becomes a lazy thing. I don't personally want to drive my vehicle around with this on with nothing on it. It's just more to have on, more to if I get rear-ended, is it covered? Should I get insurance just for this, especially when we're talking $3,000? Maybe I want to tell my insurance carrier like, "Hey, I got this on there. I leave it on." It's also hydraulic. Is there a manual backup? Excuse me. But is there a manual backup? Because the hydraulic, let's say it goes out on you and you're out of town. Well, and you have your motorcycle, something that's heavy. What are you gonna do? Like a bicycle, e-bike, yeah, okay. I have a roof rack like that. I could toss it on there, or I could maybe take it apart and cram it inside. Or like my pickup truck, I could put it in the bed, which brings me to if $3,000, why wouldn't I just drive my motorcycle into the bed? Most guys that own motorcycles, especially dirt bikes, dual sports even, have a pickup truck. Not everybody, but most of them do. Well, the other option is obviously a hitch carrier. Well, okay, $3,000. You probably wouldn't get this one. You probably wouldn't even get this one. You'd probably get this one. So at $2,400, would you buy this or would you buy something like this, the Black Widow AMC 400 hitch mounted aluminum motorcycle carrier? Now they're 181 bucks. I paid like I want to say 120 or 140. I think I might have paid 140. So it's gone up like 40 bucks since I bought mine. I've had mine for quite a long time. But you could get this, it works. You can here's the dimensions. Yeah, the ramp is kind of not good, which I bought a Pit Posse ramp, 6-foot ramp, and I cut the front bracket so it slides right into that spot, and it's 6 foot and it mounts right where the original one mounts. And I used a silicone pad to go on top of the bar down here so there's no rattling or anything, and that works beautifully. Or you can go Harbor Freight. They now charge 170 for theirs. So for the price, I would actually buy the AMC 400 because I just liked it a lot better built. Although I had a problem with my original Harbor Freight one failing. So Harbor Freight treated me well. They gave me my money back for the ramp, or hitch carrier, I should say, and they gave me $50 for my gas money because I had to come all the way home, get my trailer, go all the way back to where the bike was. Luckily, it was that close I could still do that. And they sent me shipping labels, and I sent it back, and the engineers took a look, and they then redesigned how it attaches. It's a lot better plate. And right there, I can't really tell, but I think it's a steel plate. It was like this weird, like, I want to say kind of like aluminum, but it seemed like it was cast because when it broke, it was, like grain. And mine completely snapped off when I was unloading it. But yeah, I would buy one of these first. I would buy the AMC 400 first, or this one, but for the price difference, just say AMC 400. If this is on sale and you have a coupon or something, and you can get it for like $89, which a lot of people did in the past, then yeah. Or if you're really worried about the weight and stuff, something that could like hold a sport bike, if your tongue weight supports it, you could get something like this, and yeah, $1,000. It's still cheaper than what was that? $2,400. Mm-hmm. So I don't quite understand. Well, of course, one of his arguments was, well, you know, this holds one motorcycle. Can you hold two motorcycles? Well, yeah, they make hitch carriers that hold two motorcycles. And here's the other hitch carriers that are made. Here's one. It holds two. It's made by the AMC. It's called the 600. And there you go. You can have two motorcycles on 400 bucks. I personally wouldn't want to do that. That's a lot of weight, especially the further you get out. That's compounded of how much weight is hanging out there, leverage, the force. So yeah, that's not a good idea. Now, I suppose that's where this is a better idea because this is straight up. And here, we'll go e-bike. So here it is on their website. So you have this part that, just makes it more complex. You know what I mean? It could fail. Something could go wrong. Now, I like companies that innovate, have different ideas, and maybe this is something if I was a tour company and I had a bunch of e-bikes, I could easily load 5 e-bikes. I wouldn't be close anywhere to the tongue weight, and it would just allow me to load 5 e-bikes. I'm hauling the people up, I'm dropping them off. Here you go. Here's your bikes. I'm not as concerned with, something maybe breaking because, well, that would be on me as a company, right? I better have a backup plan though, because it just seems more complex for stuff to break. Whereas I don't know why you just wouldn't have a pickup truck and you could just load the bikes back there and who cares if they're touching. I don't know. Are you guys with mountain bikes worried about your bicycles touching? I mean, I don't worry about when my dirt bike it needs to get loaded close on like a trailer or something or packing them in there. I don't really care. I mean, if we're worried about it, we throw a blanket over and then there you go. That's saving any plastic rubbing, right? Could do the same with a bicycle. But it seems like this is a lot of money, and him trying to say you're going to load 2 dual sports or 2 dirt bikes on one of these, I just don't see that as being feasible for the small minority of people that would want to spend that type of money, that would want to spend what are we at? Spend 2,900 for this one that carries 2. I, I just don't see it myself. I mean, let me know in the comments what you all think. Would you spend that money? I'm mainly making this video. I'm not trying to bash the company. Like I said, I like that they have this innovative idea, and maybe there's a market for the e-bikes segment, right? I don't. Do you really need this for your mountain bike? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't think so. I think that comes back to, well, when you're purchasing a vehicle by truck. But then I get it. I mean, fuel's expensive, and okay, maybe you just want if you have like a SUV or a crossover vehicle. But then why not just get a normal bike rack without the complexity here? The complexity is that it's motorized. It could break. If it breaks, what do you do? Is there a manual you can put it up and get in the up position? But then again, with a dirt bike on, you're not going to be able to push that up with the dirt bike on. That's a lot of weight. So what do you do? I don't know. So keep pack 6 feet. I guess that's for going down. They have different anodization, so you can get various colors. I'll give them this. They create a sign that seems neat, but I think it's trying to fix something that's not really broken, especially when you toss into the dirt bike dual sport arena. And again, I don't want my dirt bike having all its weight on the forks like that bending. Like this metal is more than strong enough to probably hold like 5 of me up. But on a motorcycle, those tubes aren't really that thick. If you've ever taken your forks apart, they're not that thick. And to have that weight hanging off the back or hanging off the forks or the back end of the forks, because, that would be the back end, it's hanging off from up here, leveraging all that weight to the point on the wheel here. I don't think your wheel's going to fail. I don't think it's even going to necessarily hurt your axle or your bearings. Those are pretty solid. I think what it's going to hurt is your fork. And all it would take is a slight bend, and then you'll have a leak, and you really won't know why. And you replace the seals, and you still have a leak. And it's because when something is round like that, and with weight on it, it's going to mushroom. It's going to become more oval. That's not good. That's not good at all. They claim, well, we've tested, but they, like the one guy said, well, have you done any, like test on the metal to see if there has been stress that you can't see. And they didn't really respond to that. I guess they don't do that. But just because they've loaded this way, it's good. Well, at first when I first saw the video, I thought, well, it's just an ad for the mountain bike showing that it could pick up the weight. So you don't have to worry about your e-bike. You don't have to worry about your e-bike because it can pick this up. So there's plenty of strength there. And that's what I was hoping, that it was just an advertisement for promoting this, but no, they want you to buy it and use it for a motorcycle, which is a lot of money. It goes back to, I can just quickly unload and load with this. Popping this out of the hitch, sticking against the wall is easy. Sticking this huge thing, finding a spot in the garage for that's gonna like take more dedication to find a spot for this. And it's big. It's still 90 pounds. I bet that's a lot heavier than Harbor Freight here. Let's see. Do they actually have the 400 specifications? Here we go. Shipping weight is 51 pounds. That's shipping weight, so that's with cardboard and stuff. So let's just say, we'll just say it's 51 pounds because it's less than that. It's gonna be less than that. It's probably like 45 pounds. Well, 90. He said like 90 pounds or 40. I'd rather not be this. This can be heavy enough just dealing with yourself. I don't want to be 90 pounds trying to put that in and taking it in and out and then storing it. It's a lot bigger than this. This lays pretty flat against my wall. I use a couple ladder hooks, one on either side, and I just put it up against the wall, and I don't have the short ramp, and one hook goes on this side, one goes on this far end, because my ramp, because I have the AMC 400, is back here, and I have the 6-foot ramp, and that, so yeah, this is what I have. This is where my ramp goes. And I would suggest a tip: never, don't use the short ramp. You're gonna hurt yourself. Go to pitposse.com and get a 6-foot loading ramp. I forget how much it cost. It wasn't that bad. And then I had to modify the front of it, and it slid into there real easy. And it looks just like this type of channel. So it looks the same. Yeah, you just load it up. I suppose you could. Oh, maybe the new ones you can all load that direction too. Mine you can't. You cannot. But anyways, for $180 versus like 24 to 3 grand, I don't know. They try to claim that this isn't in the same class as this just because of price. I don't know. Every rider I know, they're probably, and I know people that have a lot of disposable money. They're not going to spend 3 grand, up to 3 grand on this. They're just not. I I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, Bike eRack, made in Canada. I'm glad you're innovative. I'm glad you thought of something. I don't think it's something that needed to be fixed, really, at least in the dirt bike arena. No. E-bikes, maybe, because they're heavier than a bicycle picking it up on a normal rack. So this is something that maybe, but I think the price is going to be prohibitive for most people. You're not going to, yeah, I don't know. At this point, I would just get this and attach my e-bike right to here. Boom. I'm done. Good to go. Just saying. I don't know. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. I'll have links right direct to the Bike eRack site so you can take a look for yourself. I'm not making it up. And well, what's your opinions? Is there too much flex on the forks? Would you worry about that? Would you worry about a failure out and about and then you can't load your bike at all? Like this e-bike, if there's a failure here, I could probably if I can get that closed, I could probably manhandle or get somebody to help me lift the front tire up, right? I'm not going to do that with a motorcycle. So, anyways, let me know what you all think. You all stay well. Take care, my friends. Bye.